to another program of Velodrome Racing from Fonthill Park. I'm Mike Ferrato, and I'll be your host for tonight's show. This program of Velodrome Racing from Fonthill Park is brought to you by your local Saturn retailer, proud sponsors of the Saturn Canada team, Canadian champions. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another afternoon of short track bike racing from the Fonthill Velodrome. We're going to have the Saturn Cup this afternoon. This is going to be a different kind of bike race. So welcome. We welcome all the riders. We have the Saturn Canada team with us today. These guys are Canadian champions 3 years in a row. That's Scott Hastie and Tim Hadfield there. That's it. These guys cleaned up in Hamilton. They cleaned up in Winnipeg, wherever they had the two road championships in Hamilton and the track championships in Winnipeg. So we're glad to have them here. And the other teams are sponsored by the local Saturn retailers. We've got Saturn of Brampton, London, Oshawa Whitby, Toronto Midtown, Ottawa Turpin, Burlington Leggett. They're from all over the place here. So we're going to have a good race with all these Saturn teams. I have with me to open up the event is Jane Hughes, the chairperson of the Regional Cycling Committee. Thanks, Jane, for coming, and she'll say a few words.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks everybody for coming here. I want to welcome you all on the behalf of the Regional Municipality of Niagara to Niagara. If you're not from Niagara, if you are from Niagara, welcome to the Velodrome. Welcome to all the riders. I was actually lucky enough to be able to see the Saturn team both in Hamilton and in Winnipeg, so I know that you're in for a real treat this afternoon. This is one of the really great bicycling initiatives in Niagara, and one of the things that's going to make Niagara the cycling capital of Canada. So welcome everybody, and let's get started.
Thanks, Jane. Looks like the riders are ready. Jane's got the gun. And away we go for the first race. Okay, we've got a race underway. In the white London shirt on the front is Joe Cunningham. In the white London shirt right behind him is Damian Matthews. And in the white London shirt behind him is Ian Lawson. We got the London team out there burning up the track. And are they going? I can hear the boards rumbling. There's 1 lap to go. Joe's grunting and groaning out there. The other guys are scared of him. Ian Lawson going up the high line. And Joe Cunningham. Oh, there's 7 laps to go? Oh, this must be a points race. Joe's burned out. Damien takes the lead. The pace has slowed down a bit. They went off to a real fast start, and now they're bearing down. Joe's burned off the back, and Damian Matthews on the front, the London team, with his partner behind him, Ian Lawson. Ian's sitting in there waiting for a chance to sneak by him. The bell went. The bell with 2 laps to go. It looks like 1 lap to go. Ian Lawson looks like he's taking the lead now. No, couldn't quite get around. Damian Matthews holding it from the front. There's another bell. 1 lap now. Last lap. Okay, this is the last lap. They're tired out. They went off to too fast of a start. And that's it. Damian Matthews comes across the line with Ian Lawson right on his tail. Okay, the riders are up on the rail. This is going to be a missing out race. Ezio Andriola kind of squeaks down there and wants to take a little unfair advantage, but Peter McCaffrey signals him to do a lap, go around the track, and get back on the back of the pack here. So this missing out race is an elimination race where every 5 laps, Ezio taking the glory lap by himself. Every 5 laps, a rider will get, or every 3 laps maybe, a rider will get burned off the back. Peter McCaffrey sends the field out before Ezio even gets on. He's fixing Ezio for winning that first race. Tim Levebre in the green Burlington Leggett burns off the front. Tim's not waiting for anyone to get into position here. He's just going to grab the advantage and make Tim Hadfield work. And that's Tim Levebre, the American national champion in the green Burlington Leggett shirt, with Tim Levebre, the Canadian national champion, right in behind him. And in the blue Brampton shirt, Brian Cookta, but that's Tim Levebre in the lead in the green shirt. And Tim Hadfield chasing him down in the Saturn Canada, Bill McGee. So these guys pulled out a big lead. That's Saturn Canada caught up to Tim Levebre in the green Burlington shirt. And the bell rings and someone's going to get eliminated at the back. Now we're at the back of the pack. Who's fighting it out for last position? That's Brian Cookta in the blue Brampton. Looks like he's going to get squeezed out. Or Brampton, Ezio Andriola signals to Brian. Stay back, he says. He wants to stay in the race. So that's Brian Cookta eliminated. Brampton. Okay, we're back up with the front riders again. That's Tim Levebre in the green Burlington Leggett and Tim Hadfield in Saturn Canada with who else but Alex Scott in the gray Pickering shirt. Alex always buzzing around the front there. He wants to be with the best. And in blue, Oshawa Whitby, Motor City, Ezio Andriola. The bell is rung. Someone's going to get eliminated pretty soon here. On the next lap, someone will be eliminated. Tim Levebre slows down. Oh, they go around Tim. What's going on? What happened there? Tim. Okay, the bell is rung again. Tim Hadfield is way off the front. Alex Scott is battling it out with Ezio Andriola. Pickering in gray. Motor City in blue. They're burning around together. Who's going to get eliminated this time? Alex. Alex stays ahead. And Ezio Andriola gets eliminated. Oshawa Whitby. Alex stays in the race with Tim Hadfield. Down to the two of them. And I think Tim Hadfield... Tim Hadfield is looking behind him. This is all a game of positioning now. He's got Alex where he wants him, right behind. Alex regrouping his strength. Tim Hadfield looking behind. He knows he's got this race handily. Alex is making a last-minute charge, but Tim Hadfield commands it. Where are we up to? 1 lap to go? I think for the last 3 laps I've been saying 1 lap to go. Okay, is that it? Alex Scott says, whoa, finally, it's over. Thank God. Whoa. Alex Scott used up all his strength at the beginning of that race to stay in excellent position and did a great job in coming in second against the Canadian champion, Saturn Canada, Tim Hadfield. Bill McGee. But Alex Scott's from Fonthill. You're racing with the Saturn Pickering team, and you're sitting right in there with all the big guys, the Canadian champions, American champions, buzzing around the front. Alex, tell us how you've enjoyed your season here, and you must have been doing some great training in the last few weeks. You've gotten right into the big mix today.
Well, honestly, I'm like world's biggest slacker, but it's just luck. But I feel pretty good.
I think it's a bit more than luck. Seeing you riding today, and you're sitting in the right position. You seem to be following the right wheels. You seem to have just enough strength to stay in there. Kind of, it's really amazing judging from where these guys are coming from. I mean, you got world champions out there, Canadian champions. Guys have been taking this very seriously all year long, and you've been delivering pizzas.
Yeah, delivering lots of pizzas. Can I say one thing? Hi, Mom.
Thanks, Alex. Here's a $25 award, the Santo Award.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Who we got here from England? Mr. Ellis. Holy smokes, stand up, folks. These folks came all the way from England. This is Mr. Ellis's father and some relatives from England visiting Canada. Welcome to the Niagara Peninsula. We're glad to have you here. Glad to see you enjoying Velodrome racing. I'd like to introduce Gord Singleton, the announcer, the color commentator at last year's Commonwealth Games in Victoria, British Columbia. We have Gord Singleton with us in the blue shirt here. He was the world champion 1982. I'd like you to keep note of that because we're going to have a contest later on for all you television viewers who will be seeing this. Gord had 3 world records and was the world champion in 1982. And he's going to interview Tim Hadfield and Scott Hastie of the Saturn Canada team, see what those guys have been doing this season, and they'll tell you about some of the medals that they've won at the Canadian Championships. Gord, I'll give the microphone to you now.
Okay. Well, it's given us a lot of pleasure today to be able to have 2 good Canadian riders like Tim Hadfield and Scott Hastie. They're sponsored by the Saturn company. And this type of sponsorship enables them to be able to go and ride all the popular races in North America. They're 2 prominent riders at the Canadian Championships. But this is a little unique racing for them today. I don't think this year either one has done much racing on the track. And if one of you would like to answer that and tell us a bit of your track experience this year.
Well, this year we spent 2 weeks down in Trexler Town, which is your old stomping grounds from a few years ago. It was just a couple weeks. They also had the U.S. Masters Track Championship, so we only had a little bit of time on the track. We also went to Winnipeg just the very beginning of September and rode our national championships there, and that was pretty much all the track for the both of us.
Now, most of your riding is done on the road. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about some of the road riding you've done this year?
I've done a lot of the big the Canada Cup races. Scott placed really well in those. He won a stage of boasts, and he held the leader's jersey for a day, which is a really good result for somebody doing their first serious year of racing on the road. We've done a lot of racing down in the States. We have members of the team have been racing in Japan and over in Europe, and it's just been a really, really good year for the team.
Now, next year is the Olympics in Atlanta in 1996, and do you 2 gentlemen feel like you got a chance of making the team?
Scott?
Well, it looks like Canada's not sending a team in the event that we do well in the team pursuit, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But we'll see what happens on the road. We'll see. It looks like a few of our riders from our team have a really good chance, and I guess you could include us in that if we do a good winter of training and come on strong next summer.
Well, it's a very difficult sport, and I'd like to wish you both luck next year and promising careers.
Thank you kindly.
I'll be giving away this shirt to the television viewing audience for answering a question about Gord a little later on. This is our tie-dyed Velodrome shirt, and we'll be asking you to send in a card or a letter answering a question, and you got a chance to win this. So people from all over Ontario that will be viewing this TV show get a chance to win one of our shirts.
Okay, folks, this is the first heat of the team race called the Madison, which is going to be at the end. For the first time, we've got 6, maybe 7 teams competing. It's not really safe on this track with more than 4, so the last team of this group will be eliminated. The other 2 teams will go through to the final, which will be the last race of the afternoon. The same thing will happen with the following race. We will eliminate 1 or 2 teams. The other 2 will go through to the final. Thank you.
Okay, the riders are off. This is the team race. We have, starting out here, 3 riders on the front in the race, and there's 3 riders up on the rail that are resting right now. They'll be moving in as a rest team very shortly. So these are the 3 race riders. Ottawa Turpin on the front in the white shirt, Saturn Canada Bill McGee in the white and red shirt, and in the red Toronto Midtown shirt, that's Rico Fable from Toronto. So they're circling around the track. This is the roller derby type of team racing that was made famous in Madison Square Gardens in New York City. Scott looks for his partner. Tim Hadfield throws him in. They give a little push on the hip, and the riders are in. In the red shirts, that's Rico Fable pushing in his partner, and Scott Hastie